At 4:40 in the morning, the Swiss Alps don't look like the postcards. They look dark, silent, almost unreal. The village below is still asleep. The mountains are only shadows, and every step on the trail feels louder than it should. But somewhere above Grindelwald, behind those black peaks, the sun is about to rise. And for the next few minutes, everything changes. The sky turns blue, then pink, then gold. And suddenly, you understand why people wake up before dawn just to walk into the cold. Because in the Swiss Alps, sunrise doesn't just happen in front of you, it happens around you. So today, you're not just watching a hike, you're walking it. This is a sunrise hike through one of the most beautiful corners of Switzerland, starting near Grindelwald first and moving toward Bachalpsee, an alpine lake surrounded by some of the most dramatic peaks in the Bernese Alps. But this video is not only about reaching the lake, it's about the feeling of being there before the crowds, before the cable cars get busy, before the trails fill with hikers, before every viewpoint becomes a photo spot. There is a different version of the Swiss Alps that most travelers never see. A quieter version, a colder version, a version where the mountains slowly appear from darkness, one ridge at a time. And if you stay until the end, you'll see the moment the first sunlight touches the peaks and turns the whole valley gold. The hike begins before the day really begins. Grindelwald is still wrapped in darkness. The wooden chalets are quiet. The windows are mostly black, and the only movement comes from a few early travelers adjusting their backpacks, checking the trail, and breathing into the cold morning air. There is something strange about walking through a mountain village before sunrise. During the day, this place feels alive with tourists, cafes, buses, and camera shutters. But right now, it feels like the entire valley belongs to the mountains. You hear your shoes on the path. You hear the wind moving through the grass. And somewhere in the distance, cowbells ring softly in the dark. It is not dramatic yet. It is not colorful yet. But this is the part that makes the sunrise feel earned. Because before the beautiful moment, there is always this quiet beginning. The kind where you ask yourself, was waking up this early really worth it? As the trail begins to rise, the village slowly drops behind you. The lights of Grindelwald become smaller, the mountains become larger, and the path starts to reveal itself in small pieces. Gravel under your feet, wooden signs at the edge of the trail, wild grass moving in the wind. At this hour, you don't see everything clearly. You feel it first. The cold on your hands, the thin mountain air, the silence between each step. And then, slowly, the sky begins to change. Not sunrise yet. Just a thin line of blue behind the peaks. That's the first reward. The moment when the darkness stops feeling heavy, and the whole landscape begins to open. If you've ever hiked early in the morning, you know this feeling. The first 20 minutes are always the hardest. Your body is still waking up. Your legs are asking questions. Your mind keeps reminding you that you could still be in bed. But then, you look up. And the Alps answer before you do. Now the trail feels different. The shadows are fading. The ridgelines are sharper. And suddenly, the mountains are no longer just dark shapes. You can see them. The cliffs, the snow, the layers of rock, the clouds moving slowly around the peaks. This is where the hike becomes addictive. Every few steps, the view changes. You turn around, and the valley has more color. You look ahead, and the path feels brighter. You look to the side, and there's a mountain face so huge it makes everything else feel small. And that is one of the best things about hiking in Switzerland. It doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need dramatic music. It doesn't need someone telling you it's beautiful. You just stand there for a second. And the scale of it does all the talking. At this point, the sunrise is getting close. The sky has started to warm near the horizon. There's a soft orange line forming behind the peaks. And the trail, which felt cold and empty a few minutes ago, suddenly feels like it's leading you towards something. This is the most underrated part of any sunrise hike, not the sunrise itself. The few minutes before it, everything becomes still. The wind softens, the colors deepen. The snow on the distant peaks begins to glow before the sun has even appeared. And for a moment, it feels like the whole mountain range is holding its breath. This is the moment you want to slow down, not because you're tired, but because you don't want to miss it. The trail toward Bachalpsee is famous because of the reflections, the open views, and the feeling that you're walking across the roof of the Alps. But at sunrise, it becomes something else. The lake is still. The grass is silver with morning dew, and every sound feels sharper. A footstep, a breath, a bird somewhere far away. If you came here during the day, you would probably still think it was beautiful. But coming here early gives you something different. It gives you silence. And sometimes, silence is what makes a place unforgettable. And then it happens. The first light touches the mountain. Not all at once. Just a small golden edge at the top of the peak. Then another. Then another. Within seconds, the cold blue landscape begins to warm. The snow turns gold. The clouds become pink. The lake catches the color and holds it like glass. And suddenly, every step, every cold breath, every dark minute before sunrise makes sense. This is why people hike before dawn, not just for the view, but for the transformation. Because you are watching the world change in real time. A place that felt silent and shadowed becomes bright and alive. The valley below starts to wake up. The first cable cars begin moving in the distance. Tiny hikers appear on the trail behind you. But you were here before that. You saw the mountain before the day arrived. And that makes the moment feel personal. Like the Alps showed you something before showing everyone else. This is the kind of sunrise you don't just film. You remember it. After sunrise, the hike becomes softer. The dramatic moment has passed, but the beauty stays. Now the trail feels peaceful. You walk near the lake. The reflections move gently with the wind. The mountains, which looked intense a few minutes ago, now feel calm and open. This is a good time to stop. Sit on a rock. Take out a small breakfast. Drink water. Let the camera roll without rushing. Because this is where many travel videos make a mistake. They chase the next shot too quickly. But in places like this, the strongest shot is often the simplest one. A backpack on the grass, boots near the edge of the trail, steam rising from a cup, a wide mountain view with no talking. Sometimes the viewer doesn't need more information. They just need a few seconds to feel like they are there. On the way back, everything feels different. The same path you climbed in darkness now looks open and bright. You notice details you missed before. Small flowers near the trail, the curve of the hills, the rooftops far below in Grindelwald. And this is what makes sunrise hikes special. You don't just see a place, you see it twice. Once in darkness, once in light. And somehow, it feels like two different journeys. By now, more hikers are arriving. The quiet trail is slowly becoming popular again. But that early morning feeling stays with you. Because for a short time, before the crowds and before the noise, the Alps felt completely still. A sunrise hike in the Swiss Alps is not about walking the longest trail. It's not about proving anything. It's about being willing to start before the world feels ready. To step into the cold, to trust the darkness, and to keep walking until the light arrives. If this video made you want to experience the Swiss Alps for yourself, hit the like button, subscribe to Hidden Horizons, and comment below. Would you wake up before dawn for this view? Because some places are beautiful at any time of day. But the Alps at sunrise? That feels like a secret you had to earn.